The old town car coughed, sputtered, and died at the foot of the hill. Amelia, seasoned journalist, stepped out into the thick fog. It clung to her like a shroud, cold and damp. The air hummed with a strange energy, whispers on the wind she couldn't decipher. Above, the skeletal trees of the forest loomed, gnarled fingers scratching at the grey sky. Cranbrook Mental Hospital. A name whispered in the town below, a place avoided like a curse. Amelia adjusted her bag, the weight of her camera a comforting presence. She had come seeking a story, drawn to the asylum's grim history and the rumours that plagued it. The climb was steep, the path swallowed by overgrown weeds and crumbling stone. The fog seemed to grow denser with every step, swallowing sound and muting the world into an eerie silence. As she neared the top, the outline of the asylum emerged, a Gothic silhouette against the fading light. It stood, a monument to despair, its broken windows like vacant eyes staring out at her. Amelia paused, a shiver running down her spine. The whispers on the wind seemed to intensify, the hair on the back of her neck standing on end. There was a presence here, she could feel it watching her from the shadows of the asylum. Taking a deep breath, she steeled her nerves and stepped forward, crossing the threshold into the unknown. The asylum's iron gates groaned open, a rusted, tortured sound. Amelia stepped inside, the air thick with the smell of decay and something else she couldn't quite place. The courtyard was overgrown, weeds pushing through cracks in the pavement, a testament to nature's slow reclamation. The main entrance loomed before her, a gaping maw of broken glass and peeling paint. Stepping over shattered glass, Amelia entered the asylum's belly. The air inside was heavy, stagnant, thick with the silence of ages. Dust motes danced in the faint slivers of light that pierced the boarded-up windows. Amelia ran her hand along the cold, damp wall, the peeling paint flaking off under her touch. She could almost hear the echoes of the past, the whispers of tormented souls trapped within these walls. A sudden clatter from the floor above sent a jolt of fear through her, breaking the silence. She froze, heart pounding, straining to hear over the sudden rush of blood in her ears. Silence. Then a low, mournful sigh seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves. Amelia's breath caught in her throat, a prickle of fear dancing on her skin. This place was alive with something dark and ancient. Amelia ventured deeper into the asylum, each room a portrait of decay and despair. Rusted beds with torn mattresses stood like sentinels of forgotten suffering. Medical equipment lay scattered, cold and sterile, a stark reminder of the treatments endured within these walls. She found herself drawn to a room at the end of the hall. The door, hanging precariously from one hinge, creaked open with a low groan. It was a padded cell, the walls scratched and defaced with what looked like frantic messages. Amelia stepped inside, the air noticeably colder. She ran her fingers over the chilling messages, a wave of sadness washing over her. The desperation etched into these walls, the palpable fear, it was overwhelming. A sudden gust of wind slammed the door shut, plunging the room into darkness. Amelia jumped, her heart pounding against her ribs. Panic welled up, choking her. She fumbled for her flashlight, the beam slicing through the darkness, revealing nothing but the empty room. Taking a shaky breath, she told herself it was just the wind, a trick of the aging building. But deep down, a primal fear whispered that something else was at play here, something unseen and malevolent. As Amelia continued her exploration, she began to hear it. A faint melody carried on the stale air, a haunting lullaby that sent shivers down her spine. It seemed to drift from the very walls, a mournful tune played on an unseen instrument. The melody grew stronger as she descended deeper into the asylum's bowels, leading her down a dark, narrow staircase to the basement level. The air down here was heavy, thick with the smell of mildew and something sickly sweet. At the bottom of the stairs, she discovered the source of the music. It was an old, dust-covered piano, its ivory keys yellowed with age. There was no one near it, yet the melody continued to play, soft and haunting, as if played by phantom fingers. Amelia cautiously approached the piano, her hand hovering over the keys. As she neared the instrument, a cold spot settled over her, a chill that seemed to seep into her bones. The music swelled, the notes taking on an urgent, pleading tone. The hair on the back of her neck stood on end. She could feel a presence behind her, watching her with unseen eyes. A whisper, cold and raspy, brushed against her ear, sending a jolt of terror through her. "Get out."